Agents of I.C.S. is a Monster of the Week horror podcast meant for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alrighty. We'll say it's around 8 or 9. Margot's a very early riser, seeing as she didn't go back to bed. And we're on day 2 of our investigation. Where do we plan on going next?
Well, first, Jay's gonna go to the shop to get some food. Get another coffee, get some sandwich.
That sounds good. Let me go with.
Sure. But did you find out where she lives?
You are able to determine where she lives. It isn't in the same neighborhood as Alex or his teacher, or obviously everyone else in the same neighborhood, so any of them.
Alright, once Carson wakes up, let's go sneak around her house for a second.
Alright, and precisely what are we looking for when we go to this girl's house?
Basically similar signs to the other boy, Alex, yeah. Like, he seemed to have, something went into his house, and then he spent a lot of time, sweating or something in his bed.
Okay. Fortunately, I can answer this quickly. Looking around on the outside, it doesn't look like she was stalked or anything entered her house without her permission. There are no same traces whatsoever at her abode.
That means she wasn't caught at her house, at least.
What's the route from her house to the hotel? Does it pass by any, dark, damp landmarks? While she's walking or driving?
It doesn't, but the neighborhood that Alex and all them live in is closer to the hotel than she lives. So you wouldn't have to go through the neighborhood, but it would be in proximity. Other than that, it's still close enough to town that no caves or anything, nothing strange like that.
When did the entire thing with Alex happen? What time?
Like time during the day?
Yeah, was it during the day? Was it at night?
It was afternoon, I think. I think it was around 3 p.m.-ish, I believe. 2 p.m., 3 p.m.
Okay, because in both cases it seemed to have captured someone at night, or at least we assume, but it makes sense, it's colder then. Maybe we have to stake out the place or something.
Okay, you said the hotel is closer to Alex's house than it is to hers?
Correct.
So it could have gone there to where she was working.
Yeah.
Not necessarily got her there, but got her at her house and then came here. But the other way around.
Yeah, on the way.
What is the direction of the hotel from the house? Is it towards a body of water?
It is not, no.
Okay. That person is still looking up the creatures that might, the really vague thing, right?
Effectively, basically the information you received back is anything on that list isn't necessarily relevant to what we're looking for. Or it could be.
So we can't narrow it down based on what we saw?
Not based off that, no.
Okay.
Really? Body-jacking starfish doesn't narrow it down?
Body-jacking starfish.
Weirdly enough, no.
Can you name the mystery body-jacking starfish?
Sure.
Well, did it leave a trail at all from when we saw it?
From the hotel?
Yeah.
It essentially ran off
where we...
Yeah, it essentially ran off into the wild, but I'll give you this one for free. Fairly straightforward. It moved back towards the neighborhood you guys went to, and which is also inherently towards her house, but that general direction. So it did not move away from town. And of course, you completely lost the trail after it hits, the more dark and dank areas. But running through the dirt, unfortunately, it can't really hide its little drag marks. And there were some little blood droplets along the way. But after a while, those completely dry up. And you can tell the direction it headed was back towards, not Alex's home, but back towards that neighborhood.
Where is the Chambers house in conjunction to all these locations?
It's in the same neighborhood as Alex. It's maybe 1 or 2 streets up. So they're pretty close.
Was the creature heading in that direction?
It was headed toward the direction of the neighborhood. So technically, yes.
Maybe we should just canvass the neighborhood.
I mean,
I guess we could wait for it to find us again.
Yeah.
Did it try to find us, or do we just end up in the same area?
I mean, it specifically seemed to knock on our doorstep.
It did do that, didn't it?
Are we sure we're the only door it knocked on?
I have heard it knocking on any other doors. Potentially.
Unfortunately, can't answer that clearly because the first knock you weren't even sure if it was your dream or it knocking. The knock at your door is the one that woke you up.
We can always check out the Chambers house and see if there's any blood spatter on the outside or something.
Yeah.
If you think it's them.
That's true. It should still be kind of bleeding, right?
It's pretty far. You're not sure if you lost the trail because the blood dried up or because it went a different direction. So difficult to tell.
Can I do trust your gut again?
Where are you trusting your gut?
Well, I would go to where the last evidence of movement was.
So I will
try to see if I could extrapolate where to go.
Without having you need to roll, it definitely went toward the neighborhood. I don't want you to fail this just because I've already given you the information, and I'll just say yes. Like to be very clear, it definitely went this direction. You guys don't from everything you've seen. I'm not gonna say it's not smart enough, but from everything it's done, it doesn't try to like run one direction, then you can go another direction. It does not try. It's never tried to do that. Every time you guys have seen a general trail, it's always ended up where you guys thought it would.
I think I'm just gonna start walking around the neighborhood. I don't really know what else to do. I guess I'll see if anybody's acting strange or if I see anything weird, but
can definitely do that. Jay and Margo, how about you guys?
Jay is definitely thinking about consulting his Pocket Watch, but he doesn't want to because he doesn't like the entity, but at the same time, kind of wants to.
Margo?
So, yeah.
I haven't done my fortunes yet, right?
I don't think you rolled this now. You rolled the other one.
All right. I would like to check about ancient prophecies to predict the future.
Sure. Roll me weird. Awesome. That's an 11. You get to pick 3, I believe. What are you looking for? Well, you can hold on to these, so you don't need to spend them ASAP. Because, yeah, give +1 forward is in the moment kind of deal. So maybe
jot. Seems so good, though.
3 is very good. So jot this down that you have these, because obviously just saying, oh, I have this object right now wouldn't make any sense, because don't want you to waste it. Especially that bottom one.
Okay, these are actually kind of weird.
Yeah, basically you can pick...
I feel like because be somewhere you are needed just in time, preemptively warn someone about an attack so that doesn't happen, and have a useful object ready, which means I would randomly pick something up or randomly end up somewhere that I might not naturally go to.
Basically, you can flashback 3 times.
Yeah.
Effectively, yeah. So like, let's say, for example, someone were to get cut by something, you can say, I'm going to spend one of these, that like as they're taking the turn, you get, that's so Raven and go, don't, and they don't, and then the bullet goes by or something. So that's effectively how this will work.
All right, well, I would like to do that one then, but I'll save it for later.
Yeah, you have 3, so jot that down. All right, so with those in your pocket, technically you would have rolled those at the beginning. What are you doing while you guys are in the neighborhood, Margo? What's your plan? Carson's walking around, kind of trying to figure things out. They're scoping out the neighborhood. Scoping way?
I feel like I'm going to scope it too.
All right, anyway.
By the way, I would like to have my long coat on so I can carry my long sword beneath the coat.
What's the weather like? Does it look suspicious that she has a long coat on?
Yes, very suspicious. It's warm. It's hot.
I'm edgy. It's okay.
Alrighty, so little weird that you're scoping around with this like trench coat, basically. Are you scoping anywhere in particular, or are you just walking around the neighborhood?
I think I'm just going to casually walk.
All right. Once again, since you guys are both walking around, I won't have either of you roll, but at different times, I'll say since Carson said it first, no, you know what? Since you suggested it, Margo, prior, you don't see anything necessarily weird. You guys see Sharon, you guys see Weston. They're kind of just, rubbernecking, trying to like, they're doing the same thing you guys are doing. They're basically trying to see like, is there anything weird happening in the neighborhood? You notice a lot of folk are kind of doing that for very obvious reasons. But as you were walking around, by chance, Margo, you happen to go down the street that the Chambers live in, and you can hear some music dancing through the air.
Wait, you can hear the music?
Yes, you hear piano music. Mm-hmm. Not the same song, but you do hear piano music.
I like to approach and listen.
Okay. As you approach and listen, it's very muffled. The windows are, like I said, open, but it doesn't sound like it sounds like it's coming from inside the house, but like in a room in the house.
I like to knock on the door.
As you do, you can hear step, 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 step in her little heels that she was wearing, and you can hear her humming, and she unlocks, turns the knob, and opens up, and Margo, you're back.
I'm back.
Oh, where's your friend? I promised I would make you 2 a pie.
I have pie now and bring back the rest later.
Well, I'm in the process of making it, if you don't mind waiting.
Do you mind if I help?
I would prefer to help the guest. It's kind of more of a, I'm not a control freak, but you're my guest. I don't really want you to have to put in the effort. You can help by speaking with me, keeping my mind off things, and conversation is a wonderful gift.
Sure.
She kind of looks around behind you. Is your friend not here?
Yeah, they're out walking.
Oh, shame. Well, come on in, come on in.
I'll go in.
Okay. And
Do I see anything out of place?
no, house looks exactly the same as it did before, and she's humming the same song, and she's, occasional lyrics are kind of dancing across her lips, and she's, da, 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 she's kind of doing her thing, and she sort of moves over to the kitchen, and you can tell that she basically just started. She's kind of like kneading the dough, and she has some apples out and whatnot, and she's like washing them, and she goes, "So, what brings you in our neighborhood today?"
Start off with a tough question, I see. Well, there was just some weird ongoings at the hotel last night. I'm a little rattled.
Oh, anything bad?
No, but someone did get hurt.
Oh no, that sounds bad to me.
I mean, she'll be fine.
Oh, what happened? Who was it?
Lee?
Oh no. She was so sweet. What happened to her?
It was some sort of shit. What's what I'm thinking of?
Just say animal attack.
Chicken attack.
Oh yeah, animal attack. Animal attack works. It was an animal attack.
Oh no, really?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds sus.
I think I saw some coyotes roaming about. So we always warn people not to roam about at night. I know they're 24/7 hotel, motel, whatever, but I keep telling them not to walk around at night. They gotta be careful. I really hope she's all right.
Coyotes? There are
No.
coyotes around here?
Oh, there's little animals running around everywhere. I mean, shoot, a little possum could probably hurt you if it was in the right mind. I'm sure a little squirrel could get you too.
You'd be surprised.
Oh, you're telling me. And she says, well, fortunately for you. And she kind of just motions to the air. She says, William is in a mood today. He's attempting to finish up the song or add to something he and Alex were working on. It sounds a little off at times, but I don't know. He's really feeling it, I believe. He's so close. I can just, I really can't put it into words, but my heart feels it. Yeah?
I actually decided to stop by because I heard him playing. It sounds great.
That's why we leave the windows open. Not that we're inviting every random stranger into our home, but I did promise, and you two were trying to help. So, of course, you're always welcome in.
Why, thank you.
Anytime. And she's still kind of washing at the apples and whatnot, and just sort of doing her thing. And, do you bring up any other conversations, just like small talk with her?
Yeah, I think I'll small talk. And I probably wander around the rooms, not too far.
Okay, everything is very clean. Do you let your allies know you're here, or?
Yeah, I'll text.
Okay. Carson and Jay receive a text that she's hanging out at the chambers. What are y'all doing in response to that?
I'm still brutally watching my pocket watch, and I guess I finally decide to ask it a question. Mixed success.
So you can ask one of the questions below.
Like at this point, Jay just wants to have a clue, I guess, so he's gonna ask him to show him a hidden secret. Or lead him to a hidden place, I guess.
I'm trying to think how to play this out without being too much. Because like I said, this is very low magic, low impact. Let's see.
Like if it can bring me somewhere, I would probably end up picking Carson up, I guess.
Yeah, where are you?
Following it.
Where are you currently?
Like I'm in the neighborhood where it is.
Okay.
Well, those two are patrolling basically, and I'm sitting in the car.
Perfect. So you're sitting in your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am alone.
When you ask it a question, do you think it or do you say it out loud?
I say it out loud.
Okay. And as you ask this question, you initially receive no answer, but then you get this odd sinking feeling that just overwhelms you, and your feet feel like they're kicking at air for a moment, but no, they're on firm ground. And if you kind of like reach out, you can feel that there's more ground ahead, but just 4 inches down, like a hand's length down. And then you kind of feel around, and there's more. And these steps continue to go down, and you feel cold. And the radio begins to just try to display messages, and it's kind of like showing the song that's playing, and it just says just down.
Like the scroll text, basically.
Yeah. It just scrolls by. The text just says down, down, down. And then the sensation of walking down something just recedes, and you're back in your car and you're fine. And the cold also recedes along with that feeling.
I mean, with that, I'll basically pick Carson and drive around a bit, see what the best options are for. We need to be somewhere down in a basement, cold, dark, damp, in this direction.
All right, and just pick up Carson. You guys are just driving around the neighborhood?
Yeah, I'm basically discussing with him. Like, Margot is currently keeping the chambers busy. We could try that place if we think it's them. for whatever reason. Still not convinced, honestly.
You're not convinced?
Jay isn't convinced, though.
What's Carson think?
But he's seen weirder, so he's willing to follow your lead.
So you're not convinced that what?
Jay is not so much convinced that it's the chambers specifically.
Yeah, I'm
But
kind
he's
of
basically asking you if you have any other leads, and otherwise we can always, break into their house, see if they have a basement.
I don't think we really have any other leads. I don't know if the chambers are directly related, but I think it's worth checking out if they've got a creepy little basement.
Otherwise, we clear up the evidence. But that's not them.
All right. Are you letting Margot know any of this? Or you guys just kind of headed on the way?
Yeah, text me. I'll take a look.
I'd let him know. I'd
Honestly,
let her know.
yeah, I would probably text to keep them busy.
All right. Are there any while I'm wandering around the house, do I maybe see any because we already looked once and there wasn't a basement, right?
There was no outside basement.
Oh, they do have a basement. Okay.
Yeah, everybody here does.
Yeah.
That's what happens in the suburbs.
Yeah, Jay was looking for one of those outside basements that you could open. There wasn't one.
How far is it away from the kitchen?
It's in the kitchen.
If you keep her busy and Carson helps out, I'm sure Jay can quietly break in.
Yeah, but there was no outside exit, right? Otherwise, we would have tried that already.
Yeah, I mean, last time I rolled bad, which means that she saw me. Well, saw-ish me.
Dog saw you.
The dog saw me, and she was looking out. So
yeah,
maybe this time I'll get lucky.
Sure. I appear to have her attention, so go ahead.
And I also have Carson's help this time, so.
In fact, I will wander into the living room. I assume there's pictures and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I could probably start I'm talking loud so that you can hear me from across the room conversation about something on a mantle or whatnot.
Okay. And she's holding conversation with you, and she's beginning to cut the apples, and you hear the tick, 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 pause, turn, tick, tick, tick.
This
tick.
is pretty impressive because my charm is -1.
You don't need to be charming. You're just talking to her. Yeah, you're just talking.
You know what? She has more charm for the both of us. That's what it is.
She wants to talk with you, so you don't need to charm her.
Exactly.
Easy peasy.
All right, and you guys can actually hear almost over the piano music Margot and Martha's conversation. So what are the two of you doing? There is a back entrance to the house, by the way, to the backyard, but there's no, obviously, basement entrance.
This time Jay came prepared, and he has a chew bone which he throws into the neighbor's house.
Okay.
To distract the dog.
All right, and he goes chase after it. Very happily chews the bone.
He's just gonna this is a nice neighborhood. The door might be open.
Yeah, nice neighborhood, like I said.
Quietly.
The windows are open, and to rephrase, the basement, the entrance to the basement, is in the kitchen that Martha's currently in. So.
Oh, can you get her out, Margot? Maybe ask her something about the pictures?
I will text. She's busy chopping, so no. You do not interrupt cooks when they're in the middle of chopping.
I think that's a fair rule to have.
And how am I supposed to get in? I'm sneaky, but not that sneaky.
Shit. I don't want to knock something over again, for crying out loud.
Don't do it. It didn't really work out well the first time.
No, and she seems nice. I don't want to break something.
Exactly, she seems
Unless
nice.
she's actually evil. I got 0 ideas.
Just keep holding the conversation with her?
Yeah, I don't think I can do anything.
We could have Carson knock on the front door and join you. That would distract her for 5 seconds.
If you think that's enough time, I'll do it.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, I head over.
All right. And as you knock, she kind of...
Would that count as a help action, by the way?
Oh, definitely, yeah. And she very, very happily kind of goes, ooh, and she heads over to the door and sees you there, Carson. Goes, we were just talking about you, Carson.
Really?
Yes. Wonderfully, Margot's already here. And and she stays silent for a moment. You can hear William playing. And she pauses for a second. Well, being one of the arts, I normally understand his music. This is a bit different, but it will all come together. I have a feeling, he's got a feeling, it's great. And he doesn't normally play for this long. He's been doing, he's so in his work. So I'm gonna get this pie done. I have some dinner planned. Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. Come in, please. And go ahead, and are you rolling your burglary?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
Do I get a +1 forward for her helping, or is that...
Just roll it, and then if you're not close enough, she'll roll help out.
Oh, that won't help, but it's a mixed success.
There you go, make success.
which is pick 2, right? Yeah. So I'm going for get in undetected.
All right.
Can I hold those, or do I need to pick all of them? No, I need to pick all of them. Okay.
Yeah, gotta pick 2. So get in undetected.
Well, currently, I don't really care about getting out undetected. I don't mind sitting here for literally the entire evening until they go to bed.
So I will say this. I'll leave this up to you. You can get in the window because they're open. That won't hurt you whatsoever. This break in, if you want, can be the basement if you wish, or you could be going through a door. Entirely up to you.
Like, I assume the door is open, so I'm just gonna take the door. I'm not gonna like sneak into the window because that's weird. So instead, I'm gonna like pick lock the go down the basement undetected, preferably.
Okay, and then what was the thing you're going for?
I don't want to leave a mess. I don't want anyone to know I'm here, so I'm gonna go with that.
Alrighty. Well, their back door was unlocked, whether you go through the door or the window. The basement was locked, though. The basement door was definitely locked. Actually, it's locked a little better than you were expecting, Jay. Not the best lock in the world, but it takes some fine-dangling. Fortunately, because Carson is currently speaking with Martha, you're able to get in. But you do know you're going to close the door behind you. 100% because Martha's going to re-enter the kitchen in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. Opening the door, you just see a set of stairs. And no light whatsoever. It just goes straight on down. There is some light spilling in from the kitchen, but it's not enough to illuminate the room.
Like, I'm going to close the door behind me, obviously, because I don't want it to see. I'm going to close my eyes and slowly walk down and see if the sensation of walking down is the same as the one I felt in the car.
It takes a moment for you to gauge yourself. And there's rails, fortunately. And it being completely pitch black, you begin to descend and descend. And now that you're down here, the somewhat discordant piano music is much louder, but there's definitely a door somewhere down at the bottom of these steps because it's preventing the music from fully reaching you. It's muffling it quite a bit. It almost puts you off kilter to the point where it's kind of hard to walk down the stairs, but after you kind of hit your gate, you actually realize this somewhat wobbly difficulty descending the steps perfectly mimics what you felt in your car.
And the music was getting louder as I go down?
Very slightly.
Ooh.
It's also getting a little faster, too. And Martha's already brought you in, Carson. The door's closed. She's nothing. And she's like, you can wait with Margot in the living room there on our wonderful new couch. We just bought it about a week ago. Hope you enjoy it. I'm making apple pie, and then we're having dinner. I don't know if you want to join for that, but you did promise you'd be joining for pie, yes?
Yes, I did promise that.
Perfect. Then I'll get right to that.
You know what? As the music is getting louder, I would text them I'm in and ask her where her husband is.
He's upstairs, right?
Yes,
the
well,
one
apparently the
playing the-
music downstairs is getting louder.
Wait, there's music downstairs.
Where does it sound like the music's coming from?
You guys can't tell. It's just muffled. It's coming from somewhere in the house and it's muffled.
Okay, so what was your question, Jay?
Ask her where her husband is, if he's upstairs. Because you've been in his study, right? Where he presumably plays music.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was upstairs.
Okay. She tells us that we can go to the couch, and I'm like, could you mind if I take a peek at where your husband's playing, just so I can, get a better listen to it? Would that be all right?
Normally I would say yes, but he's very in the mood right now, as I'm sure you can hear. And she kind of smiles a bit and then just listens to it and begins kind of trying to hum along with it. And she's like trying to find the note and she just can't. So she's like, he's currently busy, but when he's done, he'll come up.
You mean up?
He'll come up? I thought the study was upstairs.
That's usually with his normal students and such. He's currently playing in the basement.
That's kind of depressing.
Oh, no. He can focus better down there. He can get away from it all. Has great acoustics, too.
All right. I'll take your word for it. I'm not good with music. I'll text that to Jay.
Okay.
He's downstairs.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, he's playing music. He can't hear me, probably.
Wait, did he lock the door from the inside while he was playing the piano?
The door was definitely locked.
I'm just going to continue downstairs slowly this time.
All right, and you do indeed continue downstairs slowly. And that goes on for probably longer than it should. And we'll cut back to them.
I do not want to sit on the couch, by the way. I want to sit in the kitchen, especially if the music is suspiciously downstairs.
Okay. When you say you're in the kitchen, are you like, where precisely?
Let's say I'll sit at the kitchen table.
Cool. And you can just kind of hear humming to herself, and she's singing the same song she was singing before. Just, basically the song about effectively turn a sad song around until it turns bright. Just keep on singing and singing and singing until, everything will be good. It's all right. Carson, are you doing anything?
No, I'm just trying to maintain a steady source of attention for Martha.
Okay.
Also, oh shit, I probably can't sit with this gray sword shot to my back. I will continue standing.
Wonderfully awkward. As you guys are sort of sitting there, she continues humming to herself, singing. Sometimes she kind of turns and grabs some more apples, and then she's still kind of cutting away at them as you guys are waiting and listening to the music, and Jay is ascending the stairs, and you guys just hear cut, 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 and then...
Cut.
Is it on tempo?
It is on tempo. It's actually like perfectly on tempo for the song. It's kind of finally reached a consistent tempo. It is still sort of all over the place, but it has form finally. And her humming has sort of caught up in the same part of the song. And she's just saying, just keep singing and singing and singing and singing and singing.
Is she like zoning out or following along or leading it?
Or does it sound like a broken record?
Sounds more like a broken record, as if she's starting to sound lazier. Her singing was very like, and now it's like singing and singing. And the cutting, she's cutting through apples. It sounds like she's cutting through something much thicker than an apple. And you hear
fingers?
You hear a crunch, and then you hear another crunch.
I go in there.
She continues. You come in first?
Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm already in the kitchen. So what is she doing?
Her back is to you, Margo.
Is she cutting her fingers?
Do you come in first?
I go in, yeah. Well, whoever's there, I want to know.
Carson, you see that she is almost up to the first knuckle on her fingers. The tray is covered
I stop her immediately.
in sliced apples and skin. She's cut to the bone deeply, and she is just staring straight. Carson, go ahead and roll me, keep it together. As you see her just slicing into herself. Excellent. Roll a 12.
Nice.
We hold together for now. And you're able to, without really staring too closely at it, you can focus, you can grab her arm, and she is just like a bull going forward. In fact, she's cutting into, when she like misses the finger occasionally, she cuts into the board. But you're able to grab onto her and pull away.
Can I check her back?
I throw the knife across the room, too.
She ain't letting go.
What's she try to do?
She's just making the same cutting motion over and over and over, but like forward and cutting at the air. Not like at you, she's just cutting forward. And she hasn't moved.
Can I check her back?
Yeah, she looks fine. She's just wearing a dress. It's
Maybe
actually pretty
she's
tight.
just a robot.
All right, I would actually like to go downstairs now.
I mean, robots don't bleed though.
I guess that's true.
But she's a very...
Oh, and she has no like marks on her skin, right?
What do you mean? Oh, like little pin marks?
Yeah, like maybe old healed ones or anything.
No, her current dress shows a little bit of her back, and also it pinches her about mid bicep.
All right, I'm gonna open the door and go downstairs.
It's got the poofy shoulders.
Does she stay like that? Does she just keep standing there?
She's just sitting there, just cut, cut, cut. You're holding her wrist, and she's like slowly kind of cutting at this invisible apple.
If I let it go, does she stand back up, or does she just keep standing there?
Her body is rigid, and she's slowly cutting now, but it's still to the rhythm, but she's bleeding all over this cutting board.
I guess I'd try to, I don't know. I get a towel and I try to stop the bleeding.
Do you need help getting the knife out of her hand, or is it gone already?
No, she's holding on to it. We need to get rid of the knife.
Would I need my magic to break her wrist?
No.
I will grab her hand and break her wrist to make her drop the knife.
All right, roll me out under pressure.
You can't just casually go around breaking people's wrists.
I casually cut off people's arms. It fits.
Alrighty, as she's doing this and Carson has her held, you roll a 12. And acting under pressure, Margo, you go back to your training, and you're easily able, without actually needing to break her wrist, you find a way to like wedge in under her hand to loosen some of her fingers. You might have broken a finger or dislocated it, but this is better than the alternative, and you're actually able to get the knife away from her.
All right, so I will keep the knife with me, and then I want to go downstairs.
As you guys let go of her, she's still basically standing there, completely rigid, cutting with no knife, just with her hand at the air, and she's just and singing, just over and over and over.
God, I don't want to go. I don't want y'all to go down there without me, but
I mean, as long as she has no knife, she should be fine. She seems very tranced right now.
Yeah, she seems stuck in a loop.
I'm gonna say, as long as she's stuck in, can I put like something on the hand, or she won't let me?
She does not resist whatsoever. She's basically stuck in the same position she was in and not moving, which is basically the knife. You can kind of lift her hand and you can wrap it really quick while Margot was trying to get the door open, and it's not wanting to go.
Go on.
The knob's not wanting to listen.
Well, then I break the door.
Okay. I'm gonna wrap her hand really quick, and then I'm gonna go fall. Can I try opening it? Can I kick the door open?
Leave that to me with my enhanced physical capabilities. You old man.
Excuse
Roll
me.
it too.
After a
I
minute,
was gonna say I probably would have
Let's
left
see
the
it.
door on like half an inch open for you guys, but
oh, you definitely did, but it's closed now.
oh, it's sounded close now.
And we can't open it?
You
Who
think
closed it?
Good question. Margot thinks about ramming it. Maybe Carson is like, "Oh, I'll kick." No need. For some
It
reason,
opens outwards though.
it does. You're actually able to kind of wiggle it in the right way, and it kind of clicks, and then it slowly slides on open, and you just see steps descending into darkness.
Oh, good, Carson. You saved the door from getting damaged.
Perfect. That's what I do.
I'm gonna charge downstairs.
All right, you charge on in. It is pitch black down here. Carson, you follow?
And how much of that did
Yeah.
I hear upstairs? Like if anything, it was insulated entirely.
You heard nothing, Jay. As the
And
two
how long have I been walking?
for way too long.
Okay, in that case, I'm definitely gonna read a bad situation.
Yes. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's
Mark
experience.
me experience, good sir.
That's 1 bar, by the way.
Can
got one?
I read a bad
Hey,
situation?
Well, for you, it's currently not bad. Now, as you're kind of moseying on down,
I am blissfully unaware of anything bad happening, so everything's great.
pretty much, and you get experience. Yay! As the two of you enter, Margot and Carson, the door not swiftly closes behind you, but as you get a few steps down, the door does indeed slowly close behind you. The music is much louder down here, but still muffled by probably a door just up ahead.
I feel like I should have actually not broken the door.
Probably
it could
just
be-
up ahead, except I've been walking for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, there could be some sort of spell on it that makes it like a locked room mystery.
But that makes it easier for me because I can just open it then.
And moving forward, as I said,
Wait.
it's yes.
I wouldn't have even been able to kick the door open anyway because I'm injured.
It'd be
I have a leg injury.
it'd be
You
a
have
wimpy
the
kick, but still a
Second
kick.
leg.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
Margot could just use you as a battering ram. It's okay.
Also
Just
works.
realized I was
Yes.
stupid.
All good. So, as I mentioned, it's pitch black down here. You guys can't see dick. So, Margot and Carson, what are y'all doing?
I pull up my flashlight.
All right, you pull out your flashlight, and you see a set of stairs descending into darkness.
I'm gonna descend very rapidly.
All right, as you rapidly descend these steps, Carson, are you following?
Yeah.
All right. Jay, go ahead and roll me. Keep it together.
Nice. Stress, right?
This one, roll cool. Alrighty. Yay.
Makes sense.
We get to finally do it. All right. So we can add one wedge to either stress or reckless. Your choice.
I guess a normal stress at this point. He hasn't seen anything too weird yet. He's a bit creeped out, that's it.
Fair enough. And how are you reacting to this, Jay? You know for a fact this is going on for way too long. This doesn't make any logical sense.
Like, his senses are telling him to run at this point, basically, because this is definitely not normal, but he also knows that if he starts running, it's probably only gonna get worse, because as far as he knows, nobody knows he's here yet.
Okay.
Can I-
So instead, he's going to like slightly increase his pace while still being quiet, and going like, he has set a mental clock for himself. If I don't reach the bottom within the next minute, I'm going back up.
Fair enough. What were we asking, Margot?
Can I call out to him?
Yes. And as you do, your voice is absorbed into these steps. It just goes and goes and goes. It's echoing off the walls, but it's not echoing off a back wall.
What is the wall beside us?
Brick. And as you're running down these steps, Jay, you don't hear them call for you, but you hear this like weird reverberation, and it dances along with the music. You're not sure if it was your name or not. It's too warbled to have been your name.
Yeah, he would definitely have taken pause for it at least, because like it's different, right?
You would definitely what?
Pause for a second, like stand still.
Oh yeah.
Take his ear out for a second, because it's different from the rest of the music.
Yes, but it like fused with the music almost.
Yes, but it's still like the normal music had like a flow, and this was kind of like a weird jump, basically.
Oh no, it matches the music perfectly, but it's spoken word rather than piano.
Well, I guess he wouldn't stop, but he would like keep his ears up for a bit, but keep walking slowly. Well, slightly quicker than normal.
Okay. Margot, you said you ran down, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You
In fact, the longer the story goes, the faster I'm gonna run.
Are you keeping pace with her, Carson?
With that leg,
Yeah.
probably not.
With that
Are
leg.
you sure?
Well, I mean, you know what?
I may have forgotten about you. If you want to call for help, you can.
I don't want to be left behind.
I assume you have a light out as well, Carson?
Yeah.
Okay. Margot, you begin running forward, and Carson, it looks like Margot's going faster than she should be able to. You should be able to keep up with this. You're just going downstairs. It almost looks like she's taking 2 to 3 steps at a time. And with how dark it is on here, she's going to be gone in like maybe 5 seconds of this. You know you can't keep up. It's almost like she's leaping down the stairs.
Guess I'll just follow.
And Margot, as you're doing this, you had pretty fair room to descend. But going at the speed, your left shoulder kind of bounces off the wall, and much too suddenly, your right shoulder hits the right wall. And you take a few more steps forward, and you barely have enough room to stand straight. Your shoulders are being compressed by both walls.
Oh, well, that's when I stopped running.
You stop entirely?
Yeah. Okay, so it keeps going down, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're going down.
I look behind. Is Carson there?
There's feet. There's a figure.
Carson?
Is it me?
It is.
I'm coming.
The space is getting kind of crammy.
Wait a second. Kind of cramped, you say?
Yeah, why?
How cramped are we talking?
Shorter and tighter and snugger. Carson.
I mean, okay, like if you put your arms out, how wide is it?
I can't.
You can?
Is it
You
still
know,
brick?
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Is it still brick?
It's still brick.
Oh my god.
I know what your fear is.
You know, I just I don't want to be left behind.
All right, well, I think
What do I have to? Wait,
now's
what
a
do
good
I
time to
have
say
to
that.
roll? What? Now's a good time to stay there.
to say that.
I don't want to be left behind. I do have
I
a
mean-
bit of a problem with small spaces.
I mean, it's getting a little too tight for me, so I can't really leave. Okay, if I push on the brick, does it give or is it like, well, okay, I guess brick is super solid anyway.
Does not give whatsoever.
Do I have any consequences?
I would say at this point you would get a text from me that it's going too deep. I'm coming back up.
You normally would get a text, but you don't receive a text.
Okay.
God.
There's no service.
This far down, probably not.
Means that is
Actually,
carrier. I have been disconnected. Damn it.
out of game, what do I...
So I will leave that up to you. If you guys run into phobias or anything, you can tell me that you want to roll stress, you want to roll keep it together, or you can just roll play it out. Totally up to you. Unless it's something really bad. So I will say this, Carson, you're not experiencing the same thing that Margot is, but she's describing it to you.
So, but she said that it's really close in.
Yeah, for you.
And
it's not
I don't
bad.
want to be left behind. So I'm going to go forward anyway. And maybe I feel like it would be right to make me roll stress.
Okay, go ahead and roll to keep it together.
Because at this point, I don't know that Jay has said that he's coming back.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. You're able to right yourself, Carson, and you hear Margot's words, but you kind of put your hands out just vaguely, and you can feel the walls are pretty far apart. Like it's as it was before. So you're not really sure what Margot's talking about, but you guys are able to continue.
Okay.
All right, well, that's not my fear, so.
And Margot,
Look.
it doesn't get much worse. It's about the same. If anything, it opens up a little bit. What pace are you going at?
Well, okay, since Mr. Hurt Leg has expressed interest not to be left behind, I will go slower, I guess.
Now that you've slowed down a little, the walls seem less claustrophobic. It's not quite as bad. And as you're probably thinking, where the hell's the bottom of this damn thing? You don't really... It looks like it'd be the end, but you bump into something, Margot. And Jay, something bumps into your back.
What?
I reach out to touch it.
I'm definitely turning around and
You're facing each other.
Ready to heat the shit.
You're facing each other, pointing flashlights at each other.
Wait,
Jay, what are you doing here?
That's a good question. How did you get behind me? I've been walking down for like 5 minutes.
This basement is definitely cursed or
there's
something.
There's something wrong here.
Did you hear me call you?
No? Did you get my text?
No. I check my phone again.
No text.
Well,
All right. What
there's
are
definitely
the
something weird going on here then. Guess I was wrong.
do the walls still look the same?
The walls seem fine. You can actually feel a rumbling coming through them. It's matching the beat, and it feels very strong in front of you guys. Just past you, Jay.
Has the music been getting louder?
Yeah, definitely now. Now that you're noticing it's much louder.
I guess we'll keep going down.
As you guys turn your lights, the door is 4 steps down. It's like right in front of you.
What?
I open the door.
All right, the door is not locked. Upon opening the door, it is incredibly loud. The music almost pushes you back. You can feel it compressing your lungs. And looking through this room, you see many, many things. Across the way, you see William Chambers' work desk. To the left, you see a very large and ornate piano, one that Mr. Chambers is very vigorously and actively playing on. His movements are almost cartoonish. Looking up and down the side of the walls, though, this room is an absolute mess. The only way I can describe it is a rippling sea of torn and crumpled pages with hurried, scribbled ink. It's difficult to tell what's written on them, but when I say a sea, I literally mean 20 feet of paper just piled up to the left of the piano, 15 feet to the right, and it is like flowing outward. You can't even really see the walls. There is so much paper in here. Some of it actually flows in when you open the door, and it just covers your guys' shoes entirely, all crumpled and torn up.
And you said it's got musical scores written on it?
Upon closer inspection, there is indeed music written on this paper.
Is it like discarded music or like one continual thought?
It looks sort of like the same thought repeated over and over, just slightly different.
How's his back look?
Upon seeing Mr. William Chambers, he is, as I said, almost cartoonishly playing at this piano. He was
Do you
sitting
mean like
down.
that scene in like Caroline? Is it Caroline?
I haven't seen that in a while, but possibly.
Coraline?
Coraline?
Coraline.
Yeah.
That because doesn't the dad play the piano and he's all like a weird little. Okay, you know what? Never mind.
So similar. That's a fantastic movie.
I've
So
seen the movie, so I can't. I don't know.
It's
It's a great
fantastic.
movie, actually. You should
Everything.
Yeah, I've
definitely
been
watch
wanting
it.
to watch it honestly, but
Yeah, all the
Just a
movies
little-
that are great.
Just a little plug there. Great movie.
Great studio. Anyway, yes, he's very active and he's so into it. Something you instantly notice. His shirt is
Bloody fingers.
completely
Okay,
ripped
no.
off. Not bloody fingers, but he's not even wearing a shirt. He is indeed wearing pants, and he's wearing his shoes. Maybe, you can kind of tell. Every time he kicks his shoes up, he kicks a chunk of paper towards you guys, and you can indeed see he's wearing them. The music is playing, whether his hands are down at the piano or not, though.
Weird.
And you can see that is because this flesh amalgamation that is attached to his back and over the back of his head is both running down his arms and also running alongside them, almost like a second pair of arms assisting him in playing.
Is it reminiscent of the creature?
Oh, yeah. And with that, I'm going to have all three of you roll to keep it together.
normal roll or creepy roll?
This one, roll weird.
Whole second.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, a 2! Holy shit. Jesus.
Oh God!
Two
Two twos.
All right, Margo, you do roll twice. We'll keep your first one. Margo.
Friends.
I know, right? Margo.
Oh, I didn't fail.
Yeah, great. You roll the 7. You're fine. So first, Margo, we'll do these in order. Which stress clock do you want to add to?
I think that's going to be stress.
And then Jay, go and mark experience. Which one do you want to mark with 2 wedges?
Probably still stress because this is not like fighting weird yet.
Makes sense to
Fighting
me.
stress.
Alrighty. Carson, also mark experience. And which one would you like to do? Stress or cornered?
Ooh.
We are in a basement.
Is it a small basement though?
This basement is large, but it feels small because of all the paper. If one of those piles were to fall, you would drown in it, if you will.
Nah, yes, drown in paper.
It's just like stuff that's in there.
I mean, the music is also very oppressive, right?
It
Like
literally feels like
hammering on us.
it feels like there's a weight on your lungs, compressing them.
Yeah, that might
If
be,
it feels like that, then I would go with cornered.
And
Like
upon
a sense of not being able to escape.
and upon seeing this, what do y'all do?
I mean,
I should have brought my shotgun and I'll take out his
attack it.
revolver, I guess, for now. I mean, stop him from playing.
He does not react to you guys at all. He's just playing. He's going nuts.
Is it definitely a separate being though that's on him, or is he the being?
It's difficult to tell from this distance. You guys are a good 20, 30 feet away.
I would like to pull out my sword and
Sword.
call out his name. Yes, the actual big sword.
As you call out his name, your voice mingles with the music and just becomes like William Chambers. It's very strange sounding. You almost can't not speak this way.
Oh,
All right.
piano.
Yeah, can I go and hit the piano?
You rush towards the smack the piano?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Roll kick some ass. Good old KSA. Ooh, we got a full ass success. Alrighty. You can choose an extra effect. You gain advantage, take +1 forward, or give 1 forward to someone else. You can inflict extra harm, or you can take less harm. Or put them where you want them, but it's a piano, so.
I mean, pianos are dangerous if you break them, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The snare snap. Might lose an eye.
Would it hurt me?
Oh, yeah. So, for reference, whenever you roll kick some ass, you're always taking damage.
I will suffer less harm.
All right, and that's -1 harm?
Yeah.
All right, you smash into this thing, Margot, and it should probably have taken a nice fair chunk out of the piano, but it's a lot harder than you were expecting. And he turns to you. You added a note to the song. Not a huge fan. He looks elated, though, regardless. He's smiling. His eyes are wide and wild. And he sees that you've decided to join him in making this music. His free arm quickly lashes out at you, and he sticks you in the stomach for 3 harm. So, you have armor, -1. You're taking less harm, so -1 again, so just take 1 harm. So while you're struck in the gut, Margot, rather than this flinging you across the room, you're able to turn with the attack and displace some of the pressure. You don't go flying, nor does it hurt quite as much, but this dude hits like a truck. That would have hurt.
Well, can I go again, or do I gotta wait?
Well, Carson, Jay, what are y'all doing?
I'm gonna try attacking it, I guess.
Well, seeing how that happens, I don't think Jay brought any of his normal stuff with him, aside from his revolver.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I have, so.
Yeah. I guess his main action is gonna be try to, I don't know, tackle the guy.
That works. Are you intending to do something or harm him?
I'm just
Well,
trying
if you're
to,
gonna
like,
tackle him,
get him down and stop playing the music, which hurts my ears.
Sure.
My old, fragile ears. So
Okay.
what's that, act under pressure? Or?
They'll be acting under pressure. Carson, what were you saying, though?
well, if he's gonna, I wanted to try harming him before
Is it with
he
a gun?
got tackled. Yeah.
You're going to get there first, then. So bullets are faster than people. Weird, right? So yes, Carson, go ahead and roll, kick some ass.
It's so sad that I have to use tough for kick some ass.
There are moves that don't require you to do that.
Are you aiming for the thing on his back, or is like him?
Yeah, exactly.
The thing on his back. Definitely the thing on his back. I
Alrighty.
try to catch it at an angle so that it's more. So, because I'm trying to avoid hitting the guy.
Sure. You strike it, and he howls out, but it's along with the music. Your 9mm does 2 harm. Yeah, 2 harm, close, loud.
Yes.
Already, you stick him in the back, and he screams out. But as he does, along with the rhythm, one of his arms whips out, and he grabs you by the throat, Carson, and he throws you into the pile of paper. And you
That's a
smash. It's it's just so full on stretches across, picking you up and lifting you, flinging you across the room. You slam into the wall through the paper and take 3 harm.
3 harm.
So you don't have armor, I believe, correct?
I do actually.
Oh boy.
You have an
I have, a
amulet?
pro- I have
that
an
put you
amulet
unstable?
that gives me one
So
armor, so 2 harm.
correct. You take 2. It's a recharge, though, so I believe you have to. That's only 1 per day, I guess.
Yeah.
So go ahead and click that. So you only take 2. You're not unstable currently. So nothing is broken, but that shit hurt. And as you see Carson flung.
I still have that one from the other night, right? So I do have 3 harm.
Correct. You have a total of 3. Once you hit 4, that's when you become unstable.
Okay.
So Jay, as you see Carson fire off, you rush forward as Margot's kind of wedging her sword out of the piano, and you go to tackle him?
Give me a sec. I'm deciding if I want to try to protect. I don't think it's worth it though.
No matter what happens, I'm going after his arms next.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna try to tackle him, I guess.
All right, not gonna pressure. Get it. Hell yeah, already. A 10.
My wife also still has the thingies from her fortune telling, right?
She does, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely keep that in mind in case someone rolls weirdly low.
Can I use them the same one multiple times?
I don't see why
I
not.
think so.
Yeah. It says spend them 1-to-1. It doesn't say they have to be different. And you are able to jump into him and slam into him, but much like the other people you run into, he's weirdly resilient. So you don't necessarily throw him to the ground. You kind of topple him sideways, and this thing on his back almost launches a new set of legs, like the arms that we're playing, to keep him straight. And it's, now that you're close to it, it smells pretty bad. You can hear it sucking and gyrating, and it's making this squelching sound as you're not sure if it's sucking or pumping juices into him, but you can hear it now that you're this close. And you can almost feel it rubbing up against you, and it's cold and very clammy. But he's in a really shitty position right now, I will say that much. Moving further away from the piano, what do you do, Margot, as you see this?
I want to go for his arms.
When you say his arms, which ones do you mean?
Preferably the... Okay. Does he have human arms and monster arms, or did the thing make both his arms monstrous?
He has his regular arms that are covered in the usual, and then he has extra ones that are just protruding from this flesh sack.
I'm just gonna go for all the arms on one side.
Okay, then. Kick some ass.
I wouldn't need my weird here, right?
What do you mean?
Would I use weird to enhance myself for a harder punch?
No, that's a whole separate roll. So kick some ass. You're trying to do damage. That's kick some ass. Excellent, a 10. All right. Well, what bonus thing do you want?
I would like to inflict terrible harm.
Okay. Do you pick one extra? Or?
Yeah, it's one extra. But hold on. I have this.
You need to do 3 harm for that, though, right?
My sword does 3 harm.
Her sword is really hard. Okay, cool. So you just roll plus stuff again. Go for it. Hey, nice.
Ooh, if you add your going forward to this, you can get double the harm.
Ooh, can I do that?
I think so, right?
You should be able to. So does it say you can give a +1 to anybody, or is it just...
I think it's set to anyone or yourself.
You have a lot of skills.
Yeah, it's take +1 forward.
Take +1 forward. Okay, excellent. We'll say that can be applied after. Why not? All right, so that adds it to double the harm you cause. Yeah,
I did 4 harm, by the way.
Yes.
So then double that.
Damn.
Right. So I'm going to ask you. You don't have to cut his arms off. Do you want to not do that? You don't have to harm him. I'll
do you
because
want to try sculpting it off his body?
Yeah, because you're cutting so efficiently. I'll say you don't have to harm him because you rolled so well. In the moment, Margot can decide this.
Off the alien.
Okay, so that means that Jay isn't in the way?
No, that would have been a failed roll.
All right, yes. As long as I get to cut off...
I'm basically holding onto the big-ass flesh thing.
All right, yes. As long as I get to cut off some arms, I will cut them off of him.
All right, you do that, and it looks like the thing is trying to reform like a Play-Doh or some sort of taffy or something. One of the arms is cut off, and it's reconstructing and moving. The portion that's stuck to his arm peels off, and you can hear him howl in pain. But it goes along with the music, and it almost sounds beautiful in a very strange way. And as he does, you slice very cleanly this arm off. And because you did so much harm, you're actually able to get to one of the other ones, one of the ones that Jay was holding still for you. Downside to this is it is going to burst like a wonderful blood-filled zit. And as you slice this arm off, Margot, hot blood and just, I'm not literal shit, but it's basically just blood, coagulated liquid bursts and pours at you like a fountain, spraying you head to toe. And it's weirdly acidic. From this, take trace harm.
Armor 2 harm or?
Straight up 3. This is armor piercing. It's like acid. And this entity is wailing, and it looks like it's trying to actually peel itself off of William now. You've dealt it a horrible blow.
Can I roll protect someone, like trying as she cuts. I want to try to like rip this thing off the back so like the acid doesn't hit her as much, but it probably hits me instead.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Let's hope I don't die.
Excellent. All right, we got an 8. So you protect them okay, but you'll suffer some or all the harm they were going to get. Did you apply the harm yet, Margot?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Go ahead and subtract 2 of that, and then Jay, you can take 2 of the harm that she took.
Okay.
And that should make you no longer unstable.
Yeah.
So the blood sprays like a fountain, but Jay, you're able to kind of wriggle it a bit. Unfortunately, some does get on you and it burns your right arm, and your hair is like...
I'm holding on to the guy.
Oh, yeah. Margot, you were kind of able to like angle it perfectly, but you realized 2 inches of hitting Margot would be horrible. Very, very not good. So you turn quickly, and you take some of the brunt of the hit, but it doesn't like burn down too many layers of skin, we'll say, but it shit hurts. It's not great. So that's technically a reaction. Do you want to do anything else besides that while you're kind of wriggling this boy? And then Carson's standing up.
Who, me?
No, Jay and Carson.
So I'm standing up.
Like,
Yeah.
How alive is this thing still? Like, is it still like trying to regenerate and with writhing and all that stuff?
It looks like it's using its mass to basically regrow that arm, but very poorly because Margaret did so much damage to it, and it looks like it's trying to peel off of William and get away.
I'm gonna try to use the cut she made to like rip the rest of its body off, like rip it in two, basically.
Perfect. This is intent to do damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just roll kick some
Definitely.
ass. Kick some ass.
I'm not great now. Not great, not terrible at this, but we'll see how it goes. Kick some ass, there it is.
Oh
I
no!
feel terribly. It's XP, it's fine.
It is XP. All right, we got a 4.
And now it's gonna kill me, I guess.
Shit's gonna get really bad. Okay, so you're trying to pick this thing up and get nasty with it.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to rip it off.
All right,
Am I not able to jump in to protect?
You can.
you can because just protecting each other. You most definitely can try to protect if you wish. What would you be doing to protect him?
He's trying to pull it off.
He's trying to rip it off. Yeah.
I mean, maybe going for another swing.
Yeah, is it going to attack him? Is that what's about to happen?
100% yes. The downside to failing kick some ass is always damage, and then something else.
All right, yeah, I want to try and cut it again.
Alrighty, so go ahead and roll me protect.
I mean, I'm gonna be unstable anyway, so.
Excellent. Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to
Hang on,
Okay, that brings you to a 9.
and then I can inflict an additional harm.
You can also give yourself another +1 going forward, right? That makes it a 10.
Yeah, we plan on doing that because you have your your like future.
Oh, yeah, do that too.
Okay. Then with a 10 on protect someone, you can choose an extra. You can suffer little harm, which is -1. All impending danger is now focused on you. You can hit them back, or you can hold them back. Which one do you want to do? Because by default, you don't necessarily hurt things when you protect somebody, but you can't have that.
What does you hold the enemy back mean in this case?
It's gonna. So for reference here, let me make it easier for you, Margot. It's jumping towards Jay, and it looks like it's like little spiny bits are going to try to dig themselves into him and do
Nice.
do grievous harm. But you're jumping into protect, and you roll a 10, so you have options.
I would like to do harm.
You want to just hurt it?
Yeah, the sect wanted it dead or alive, so
All right, fair enough. As this thing basically peels itself off of William, he shouts out again and slams onto the piano, and then just runs his fingers over the keys. It flips quickly to launch itself at you, Jay, and you see these little spines ready to dig themselves into your flesh as you attempt to tear this thing off. It like it's the wet stickiness is able to just roll past your hand. You can't get a grip on this damn thing because it's so spongy. As it flips to basically give you a little face hug, Margot is unfortunately with your sword, right?
absolutely.
Absolutely with a sword. You're able to lash out at this thing, and I will say past armor, because these are basically spines. Margot take 1, and then Jay take 2. It brushes against you, Margot. It kind of sticks you like right between 2 of your fingers, and one of these spine, it's like a really long cactus needle. It sticks between your fingers and goes like a good 2-3 inches into your hand and like breaks off. So you got this like spine sticking between your fingers now. You're able to grip onto your sword, but letting go, your hand has like somewhat limited movement. The rest of it flings its like wet body and smashes into Jay, but doesn't hit him in the face. So Jay takes 2 harm as it begins to try digging into you. But you angled your sword the right way, Margaret, to like wedge this thing off of him, and you caught the sword between Jay and this thing. The force it used to fling itself towards Jay was enough for you to like reverse force shoving your blade into it as its momentum brings it forward, and you slice it in half. All the blood still in this like tick effectively pours out into the floor. It doesn't touch either of you, and it just rises. These two hunks of flesh just begin gyrating onto the floor, like sliding into this just sea of paper. And William falls just exasperated onto the piano.
Is it dead?
Seemingly. It's not moving.
I would like to stab it a couple more times.
You stab it a couple more times and you get your blade nice and wet, but it's dead.
He's just like trying to fling it off of his face.
There are indeed some chunks on you, but most of it's off, fortunately.
Can I pull the spine out of my hand?
It's painful, but yes, you can.
I want it out.
Where did Carson go?
I just
Suffering from claustrophobia?
look
Covered by paper.
covered by paper. Also, this thing just threw me against the wall like really hard. So.
Oh yeah, that too.
However, I would like to get up and is anybody directly attached to it?
The thing
it's still holding on to me, I guess.
The thing is, it's like limply holding on to you, like a couple of its tines are stuck into your arm, but you can pull them out. It's like a little cactus if you let a cactus stick to you.
Yeah, I'll pull them out and then I'll try.
I'm definitely gonna need some help because I'm unstable at this point. So
I am also unstable.
Oh no! I mean, I can't stabilize y'all.
You can. So if you guys take a second to basically give some medical attention, you will. It doesn't heal them; it stabilizes them.
All right. Well, let me put my little first aid certificate to use. Who's closer to me?
They're equidistant. They're both fighting it in melee range. So.
Who's worse?
me probably. How many harm do you have?
I have 4.
I too have 4. Okay, we're equally hurt.
Great. I'm barely stable, but I'll go to Jay and I'll stabilize him.
All right. As you're helping Jay,
Can I limp over to William to see how he is?
he's alive. He's breathing heavily. You can see, unlike Alex, who had like the small little tines up his arm, he has those, but it looks like he's been poked over and over and over. His spine, since he's not wearing a shirt, is all those holes. They're huge. They're like, I don't want to say dime sized, but they are uncomfortably large. You can see into them, and they're all down his spine.
My first theory was correct.
Which was...
He's the one who did it for the music.
I mean, he might also be controlled. Still don't
might
know.
also be controlled.
You
Also,
mean Martha did it?
What happened to Martha?
No!
Jay asks. you.
Martha!
I
Something weird is going on with Martha, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, has anyone checked up on her?
I can't...
Of course
gonna,
not.
We're gonna like turn up upstairs and she's gone because she was
I
the
mean, is
mastermind
that
all
thing...
along.
What's going on with the thing?
It's hopefully dead. Like, I would at
Are we
least
sure
try
it's
to like...
dead?
Yeah, I stabbed it several times. Can I check my phone? Do we have signal yet?
You don't have signal.
We're in a basement, man.
I mean, does Margot have like something to capture it with? Like to, I don't know, a container to throw it into?
But William isn't dead, right?
William's breathing heavily. He's in need of medical attention.
All right, well, I'm going to
Definitely
stabilize
Julian again.
Jay, and then I'm going to stabilize Margot.
Okay, it'll
And
take a
then-
second. It'll take a moment to stabilize Jay. While that's happening, Margot, besides looking at this thing that's definitely dead that you stabbed a couple times, and then looking at William, are you doing anything else? Are you looking around the room?
Is there anything to notice?
Yes, besides the sea of papers, there is indeed his working desk.
What's on his desk?
On his desk from a distance, you can see a couple folders, but they're all closed and put away. You can see sitting on the desk, there is a sheet of music, but it's smaller, and it's not completely full. It just has like one line, and then laying on top of the desk, you see a quill.
Is it like a normal pen quill, or is it like a spine?
Or is it what?
Like a spine from the creature?
It looks similar to a normal quill. It looks well loved. It's old. It's definitely very old.
Like magical artifact old?
Is there like a vibe check we can do or something?
There's definitely a vibe check. Are you getting closer to it?
Yes.
Okay, before you're able to get too close to it, please roll me... roll me plus weird. Alrighty. While she's kind of moving over towards it, Jay, you notice it too. And Carson, you're just kind of finishing up. Would you all also inquire and approach?
Wait, could you
He
repeat
is
that?
tired. He's just gonna ask his thing, what the hell that is, I guess. Because at this point, he's used to like slightly weird items being interesting for his entity. So he's just gonna ask him if that's one of the things that he might, I don't know, be interested in.
Okay.
But generally, what the hell is that?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and roll that. And Carson, Margot is effectively... Oh, nice.
It doesn't answer. It doesn't
Excellent.
want to answer, I guess.
Go ahead and mark experience. And your mind is filled with static, Jay. You see all around you, whether you want to or not, there is just words on everything. All the notes, you're seeing letters, they're all mixed and scrambled, and it looks like it's trying to speak with you or it's broken or something, but you're getting this headache, and it's really hard to figure out precisely what it's trying to tell you. And go ahead and roll me, on top of that, roll me plus weird. These letters,
good at these.
These letters are leading you towards and closer to the table. So you see Jay kind of like, shit. And then as he's looking around, he's like looking at the table and at this quill. Carson, you see Margot inquiring and kind of looking at it inquisitively. And then Jay starts walking in that direction. What are you doing after you finish fixing up Jay?
Well, how's Margot doing? Does she need to be...
I mean, I'm moving, but still unstable, so...
Well, I'm gonna stabilize you then.
I half-heartedly push you away because I'm trying to look at this desk.
So you don't need to stabilize her this very second, but relatively soon. I'll definitely let you know when that needs to be done. She's bleeding and definitely hurt, but she'll have a moment, fortunately. Looking at this...
Am I stable at this point, by the way?
You are stable, correct. You can go ahead and...
Sure.
Yes, yeah. So basically, you don't heal anything, but you do mark stable. So you're good.
Thank God.
Yeah. And moving in this direction, the two of you, I'm going to put 3 options in chat, and you're going to tell me, personally, the group, which one you choose. So, looking at this, you have 3 options. You definitely feel like you're pulled to the quill. For some reason, this has the answers. You know it does. So you may either stop someone else from approaching, but you have to approach to check it out. You can get close to check it out, or you can entirely resist it, but it's going to hurt. It's going to inflict 2 mental harm.
Are we aware it's pulling us?
Not necessarily, no. For whatever reason you want to justify for your character, Jay, you need to collect magical items and such. This is something that people should not have their access to. Margot, this is part of the mission. The sect wants this. I.C.S. wants this, etc. People shouldn't touch this.
The sect wanted the creature.
Hey, this is something. Maybe you can bring him this.
This is a creature.
So whichever one you choose, you can whisper it to me in Discord. You can whisper it to me in Roll20, whichever one you want.
Yeah. I'm trying to think through the mental labs that Jay would go through.
Same. I can't remember if I've played her very handsy with artifacts or not.
Alrighty. As the two of you begin to walk towards the thing, Carson's kind of calling out to you like, hey, Margot, it's your turn next, right? And you're not really sure what eventually ticks. Jay, the static almost gets so loud that it hurts and it mingles with whatever this is. And the two of you will take 2 mental strain harm. It's just regular normal harm, but it's specifically mental strain. You begin to feel an onsetting headache, and that pressure in your lungs is still kind of there, but it's not from the music, it's from something else. There, as you guys have gotten closer and stopped yourselves, there is a great pressure emanating from this thing.
If we take harm when we are stable, do we go unstable again, or how does that work?
Technically, yes, but for this specifically, no.
At this point, he's definitely bleeding out of his ears and his nose and his eyes now.
It's not great. It's not great. So seeing the two of them kind of snap out of it, Carson, what do you do?
You mean because of the vibes in the room?
They got hit by bad vibes very clearly, and they just snapped out of it.
Oh, God.
I think it's time to go.
Yeah, I think we should go. I think that I need to call somebody for William. Can we drag him out of here?
If you can get me stable, I will drag to the best of my ability.
I have been trying to get you stable for like the last 15 minutes, and somebody keeps moving around.
Okay, I'll hold still.
Right,
anyway, and we need to see if Martha's okay, because she's bleeding out upstairs.
Like, my reaction would also be to try to, I don't know, cover it, I guess, somehow. Put something over it. Just like a, I don't know, empty card box or something.
Definitely.
Just like, so we can't see it, basically.
Yeah, and that kind of helps a little bit, but you know it's there. You know it's there. And as a reminder, there is no cleanup crew. You guys are the cleanup crew for things like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna start dragging his body up while they get stabilized.
Yeah, the door going up out of the basement is slightly cracked, so you can actually see the top pretty easily. It's not too far up. He's a little heavy, but you know it's you're hurting, but focusing. It's getting further from this quill. You feel better, and you feel better. As a reminder, the only two things that stuck out on this table were a set of notes that weren't crumbled or ripped or anything. They look wholly unique to anything else, and that quill. And then Carson, you finish fixing up Margot as Jay, you are able to take William and move upstairs, and Martha's sitting on the floor like holding her hand, and she is like very, very much in pain, and she's breathing heavily, and she's looking towards the door, and she's super confused. She's in shock right now, but she's not like, she doesn't look super pale. Like she lost a ton of blood, but she lost enough to cause her to panic. While the two of you are still downstairs, Carson and Margot, after you finish fixing her up, Margot, you can unmark unstable. What do the two of you do?
I am going to try and calm Martha down.
Oh, you went upstairs?
Yeah, isn't that what we're doing?
I'm going upstairs actually with his body.
Yeah, are we bringing him upstairs so that we can get him out of that weird place and then call somebody?
I want to be as far away from that quill as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we actually the cleanup crew, or can we call like an extra agent in?
No one's coming for that. So no one's going to come for the dead body of the animal, the thing, or the quill. That's up to you guys. You got to figure out how to handle this stuff. That's your job.
Well, I think that we should call our company.
For things like that, that's up to you guys. So you can call, like, basically you can say pick up for X, Y, and Z for certain things, but you have to, make sure things are stationed off properly. But it's your job to make sure things are contained and things of that nature.
It's our job to make sure it's contained.
It's Margot's job specifically.
Margot.
It's technically not your job, Carson. You're here to consult. Yeah, you're here to drive people. You're here to consult. Technically, it's Margot's job.
Can I call Maverick to help me? Because I feel horrible.
Maverick is indisposed right now.
Maverick's definitely busy, yeah.
God damn it. So I will attempt to text him for help. And what, no response?
He's busy, and the response he gives you is maybe somewhat out of character a little bit.
Regardless, we have to get medical attention.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah.
For those people, so...
Yeah, you definitely can call Julian. He can help with that.
Okay, so I'm going to wait downstairs. And then if Maverick can't come, I must have some sort of something on me that can handle mental attacks from items, right?
Not necessarily mental attacks, but you know that you can... standard procedure, Margot, is not to touch things with your bare flesh. So thick pair of gloves, which you would have on you. In terms of like containing it within something, it's not like a curse-sealing bag, but you would have something to put items in and things of that nature. Obviously, nothing as big as this monster. That's a bit much. For corpse cleanup, you guys can call stuff for that, obviously.
If you need, Jay has a lockbox in the back of his Buick.
Yeah, like lockboxes and things of that nature. So Margot, that leaving items like this out in the open literally goes against what your job is, because if a cleanup crew comes down here, they might touch it. They might just cause this thing to happen all over again. You guys are the strongest.
All right.
Because you guys are the main characters. You guys are used to handling this shit. Maybe not Carson, but...
I will put on gloves and slip the quill and that weird piece of paper into my bag.
Okay, so we're going to pause when you do this, but as you go to touch the quill and move close to it, that thrum only gets louder and louder and louder. I'm going to have you roll some stuff next week, but this item, this thing, whatever it is unique. It calls to you. Now that you've gotten this close to it, like I said, you're not touching with your flesh, but regardless, it is incredibly powerful. You've never seen anything like this before. And as you go to stash it away, you can't really read music, Margot, but there's something about this sheet of paper. There's something about what he wrote here. It's off. You can't place it, but there's definitely something wrong with it. And I'll go ahead and share that with you now. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
You guys see these notes. And they just repeat on this line, and then again, and then again, and then again, and then again. And you'll notice looking around you.
What does it sound like out loud, GM?
That's a great question.
Sing it for us.
Sing it for us.
Looking at this, you see...
Quick, buy a piano, play it for us.
Wait.
Yes?
Wait.
Yes?
Is it what What's-Her-Face was singing?
No, in fact, this
Damn.
it will currently only Margot sees this, so I can't answer too many questions. I can answer more next week. But looking at this, it definitely looks wrong. This you can't like put your finger on it, but there's something wrong about this. It's just you don't know. But looking around, all these ripped and crumpled pages, Margot, have the same set of notes on it, and they attempt to add more. They attempt to add it to the end of Alex's little song. You can even see some of those are labeled. This repeats in all the music, and it looks like he was just angry. It wasn't working for whatever reason. This specific line, he tried to wedge into all these songs, and it wasn't working. But this one here is clean and pure and not touched, unlike the others that have been completely ravaged. And as you ponder that and put the quill away,
you die.
We'll go ahead and pause for next week. How's that sound?